Alright, what's up y'all? Welcome back to another video. I appreciate y'all tuning in. And as you could probably tell by the title of this video, this isn't your standard video that I usually put out. This isn't just kind of your typical YouTube fishing vlog, you know, where you go out, you film yourself fishing, and you know, that thing. But the other day, when I was fishing with my dad in Arkansas, so he likes to go fishing every once in a while. He's not the biggest fisherman, and when he does, it's conventional fishing. But when we go to Arkansas, he loves wading those crystal clear streams, because like, how could you not? Arkansas is a beautiful state. And fishing for smallmouth, it just makes it even better. So as a conventional fisherman, I tied him on a Ned rig, which is such a deadly and effective smallmouth, or just any lure for any species basically. And we were fishing, and I was catching a few, he was catching a few, but it came to the point where he had caught quite a few more fish than me just using this Ned rig. And I'd switched up flies a little bit, and you know, I was getting them on these crawdad flies, and so that was good. I wasn't complaining, don't get me wrong. But at the end of the day, we ran out of plastics for the back of his Ned rig, and this was on my bad because I left a lot of the plastics at my house here in Kansas when we headed down to Arkansas, because I was so worried about getting all my fly fishing stuff together that I left a whole, like, the majority of my plastics at home. So anyways, fast forward, I was thinking about this, and I was like, well, maybe I could just, you know, use tying materials and tie something on the back of this hook to get the Ned rig effect. And I'd seen people use like marabou and other things, and I was like, well, maybe I could do that. And so I'd been fumbling that around in my head a little bit, and then the other day as I opened up Instagram, I like to search through like the flies I see on there to get just kind of some inspiration on what to tie. And I was going through the hashtag bass flies, and I saw quite a few, you know, flies that resemble conventional lures. And I love seeing like the world of conventional fishing and fly fishing like kind of cross, and there's this median where the typical conventional fishing starts influencing the world of fly fishing and the flies that we fish, and I like seeing that. So with that in mind of like the two kind of overlapping each other and having an effect on each of them, I opened up Instagram and saw a jig, like a jig fly that looked so realistic and like looked so identical to a football head jig, but it was made for fly fishing. And this got me thinking, like, could I have tied, you know, a fly on the back of that Ned rig hook? Well, I ended up having some like 1/8 ounce Ned heads, as you can see here, right there. That's an 1/8 ounce Ned head. And you know, I couldn't help but think, well, I could use some cactus chenille like this. I tie a Senko fly with this stuff, and I was like, I could easily tie that on the back of my jig head, throw some foam in the tail, and have a Ned rig. Like, I can't call it a fly because I'm not here to like argue that this is a fly, because I don't know, it's made with tying materials, but at the same time it's using a Ned rig head. But then also on the other hand, I'm sure I could get the same outcome with just a 90-degree jig hook and big dumbbells, or a big cone head of some sign with lead wire. I just didn't have that on my hand, and I wanted to play around with this idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Ned rig head and my cactus chenille, and I'm going to make a Ned rig fly. Now, I'm not here to say it's a fly, and I'm not here to say it's not a fly. I'd love to hear what you guys' thoughts are, and if you would fish it, and if you wouldn't. Obviously, the purest guys are going to say it's not a fly. But with so many of the flies getting so synthetic now, and you know, crossing over from the traditional stuff, some might say it is a fly. And there's probably a number of bass fly anglers out there like myself that would say, hey man, I don't know what you call it, but I'm gonna throw it. That's how I feel. If you can catch me fish, I'm throwing it. Whether that's conventional or fly fishing, I like catching fish, so I'm throwing this probably, because I'd put money on that it's gonna work. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tie up this fly, and then this weekend I'm gonna go out and fish a lake that's got a lot of docks where we're used to pitching, and then the dam, there's a lot of rocks, and we throw Ned rigs there. So yeah, without further ado, let's get to the tying portion of this video. Alright, so there we go, we got the Ned head in here, and then I'm gonna use my crystal chenille cactus chenille, and I'm just going to cut 3 strands, braid them, tie them off, wrap it around the body, and then I got some rubber legs I'm going to wrap around the top of it, and yeah, I don't know, we'll see how this turns out. And I'm going to add foam to the end of the tail of this as well so it stands up like a Ned rig, but let's get into it. Okay, so I got my 3 strands cactus chenille cut. I'm just going to tie them in and then braid them up. And I'm going to tie them in the whole length of the body just because I want a fairly thick body on this. So I'm just going to tie them down to the hook bend. Like that, and then you just braid these strands. It's pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. Actually, first, before you do that, whip finish this off because you're gonna have to tie off the end of your braid, and my jaws really need to be tightened. This fly's not staying too well, but whip finish it. You don't need, oh, that was bad. You don't need to glue it or anything because we're just gonna come back and add more thread right on top of this. My camera cut out there because my SD card was full, but I changed it. But I was saying, also I don't still have tying scissors, so don't roast me for using these. I really hate paying for things that I don't absolutely need, and I don't absolutely need those right now. I make fine with the little scissors I got, so yeah. But just braid this back. Pretty simple, self-explanatory. Just braid these threads, and then I'll see you once it's braided. Alright, so once you have it braided to your desired length, this is kind of the tricky part, is you have to take your thread and you have to tie it off here at the end. So I think it helps to start off with a long amount of string. Sorry, this is going to be hard to record, but you just wrap it around. Wrap it around, you get the idea, whip finish, super glue. So I'll stop filming because it's going to be hard, and then I'll start filming again when I'm done. Now just super glue that area that you whip finished or half hitched, whatever you want to do to secure it. Super glue it, and then I'm going to add foam here at the end. Okay, and then once you have everything glued and braided, you can go ahead and cut these extra strands. I'm not going to add the foam quite yet, I'm going to add that at the end, just because that's going to be the part that takes the longest to dry, and I don't want to have to wait for this fly to dry. I want to tie it, you know what I'm saying? So the camera's not really picking up the cactus chenille too well, but it's what we're looking at. I probably could have gone a little longer on the tail, but that's fine. Now I'm going to take the rest of the cactus chenille, wrap the body, and then I'm going to add some saddle hackle, and then add rubber legs around the head. So let's do it. Okay, so I'm going to tie in my hackle now. Pull apart the fibers, right, like that. And the body is going to look very similar to a woolly bugger, or at least a crystal bugger with that crystal chenille, and then that hackle, which I think will actually look really nice. So once again, I'm going to add the chenille the whole length of the body just to give it some girth, some bulk. There we go. Tie in my hackle as well. Palmer that up after the chenille. And begin. One thing when I'm doing and when I'm tying with crystal flash is I like to give it a nice little twist, and I think it helps lay better and not cover up as many fibers, but that could just be me, I don't know. Works for me though, so try it out if you'd like. Yeah, this is turning out really nice. Wrap that forward. Just gonna cut off or tie off the excess, and and then cut it off. I'll go in here with some hackle. And tie off the extra hackle, of course. Oh, I lost it. There we go. Tie off that extra hackle. Now I'm going to run in with some rubber legs. I don't know, I'm trying to see if I like that hackle or not. I might cut it out, we'll see. But anyways, pull out some rubber legs from your skirt. Like that. I got, I don't know, maybe 10 here. Just spread them out evenly across that whole fly, that whole head, Ned Rig head. Right, like that. Pull it back. And then tie it down. And then we'll cut these to size and all that good stuff, but it's basically what our Ned Rig's going to be looking like. I'll get some better footage of this fly, because I know the camera has a hard time picking it up with that crystal flash. So I'll go outside and get some better footage. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this video. I'm going to start posting as frequently as I can on YouTube, at least once a week, hopefully. The summer's approaching, so I should get more time to fish. So yeah, there's the finished fly. Just going to glue some sheet foam onto the back. Obviously I need to trim those rubber legs to your desired length, and then add some black sheet foam. But that's it. I'll get some clips of it outside, and hope y'all enjoyed the video.